Hi everybody, Bob with Knives Town here. Today we're going to take a look at a Spyderco knife. This is the Spyderco Pical, and that is a name, that is a Filipino word. Filipino from the Visayan dialect, and it means to rip. So that gives you some kind of an idea what we're dealing with here. The knife ships in a plastic sleeve. There you go. And it does come with some information here with respect to, it describes the opening mechanism that is employed, which is actually a patented Emerson wave opening feature. Spyderco did license the use of the wave feature from Emerson knives, and this card talks about that. Here's the size of the knife in the hand. It opens with the traditional Spyderco thumb hole, as well as having the wave feature, which I'll show you. Now this is not your grandfather's pocket knife. No sir. You'll see it has a rather odd shape to it, and it is designed as a tactical defense fighting knife. That's what it's meant for. So this isn't really your standard everyday carry pocket knife, utility knife. It is a tactical knife, sort of a niche use there. The specs on this knife here, that is a 3-inch blade. It is made from CPM S30V steel, powdered steel. That's one of my very favorite, very excellent steel to use. It holds a great edge. It's easy to resharpen. I really like it. I've got a couple of knives with that steel, and I love them. They work really well. It's a 3-inch blade. It's a flat ground blade, fully flat ground from spine to edge. The handles are made of G10, and they do have a fine checkering on them, very fine, not hardly even visible. There is a spacer on the knife here at the front side, which is a little different again. Usually you see the spacers down at the back, but there is a spacer there toward the front. The knife has been developed in collaboration with a company called Shivworks, and there is the logo right there. That's the Shivworks logo. And Shivworks is a company that they do training seminars on self-defense techniques and how to defend yourself against attack using martial arts and use of edged weapons, and they put on seminars and training workshops about that. So that's what Shivworks is all about, and they've developed this knife with Spyderco to be a defensive use knife. There's the Spyderco logo there, CPM S30V steel, and of course made in Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. Does come with a pocket clip, a spring type wire clip. It's got a good tension on it there. And remember, that's clipping down against a checkered G10, so that'll hold tight in the pants pocket. It can be reversed to the other side. It's just 2-way, not 4-way. And the lock, the knife does come with a ball bearing lock. I'll show you that in a minute, but let's talk for a second about this wave opening feature and why it's a little bit different. It is a little bit different because the knife ships for right-hand carry, but you would expect that the pocket clip, though, would be on this side for if you're going to be using a speed opener, because with most knives that have a speed opener, like, you know, the Emerson Wave, or Cold Steel has their thumb plate, which acts as a speed opener, and I think other companies approach it in different ways, but typically the knife is clipped in the pocket, you know, towards the rear of the pocket, or if I should I say, if you're talking about the right hand pocket, it's clipped towards the side, toward your hip side of the pocket, rather than, you know, towards the fly side of the pocket. It would be toward the hip side, and then as you pull the knife out, this catches at that far right side of the pocket and opens it up. But in this case, this knife is designed a little bit differently. This clip is on this side, but it is meant for right-hand carry in this position. The idea here is that the knife is to be clipped in the on the opposite side, on the left side of the pocket. If you know, if you're standing faceways, rather than toward the hip, it's toward the left side of the pocket, and it is clipped that way. The piece here, the post, it catches against that left side of the pocket, and it opens the knife just in a typical typical wave opener way. But what it does, though, is that it positions the knife in your hand so you can grab it and hold it like this. And that is the way that the knife is officially to be held. That's the preferred official Pikal hold of the knife. It's with the sharpened side toward you, and the pinky falling into that thumb groove or finger groove there, like that. So that you're talking about these kinds of moves like that. And, you know, hence Pikal, meaning to rip. But the knife now also can be held using the thumb hole as a finger groove, you know, and these moves also. But again, the official way, and the way that the knife was designed, was for the knife to be clipped in the pocket toward the opposite side than usual, toward the left side of the pocket. It's opened in the traditional way and then held like that. That's the design of the knife, and that's why you have this type of handle designed in that way. Now this wave post here, it is threaded. It can be removed if you would like. If you'd like to just make it just a regular thumb hole opening knife. And so you can do that if you like, and of course, obviously, you can hold it any way you'd like. You know, you could use that post as a sort of in place of the typical thumb ramp that Spyderco usually uses, and you can work with it like this, you know, when you're just doing utility work. You know, and certainly it works and holds very well that way. You know, you've got a good variety of grips you can use this with. You know, this here is the grip that the trainers would train you to use. It does have jimping there. Now it does use the ball bearing lock, and let's talk about that for a second. We'll see if I can get a close-up on this so I can show you exactly how that works if you're not familiar with it. It's a great idea, great design for a knife lock. This is one of the better ones. The knife here has this. You can see that. You can see there's a ramped piece. It's slanted and then flat right there at the end. You can see that flat spot of the blade right there. That's the part that the ball bearing rides forward on. It rides forward from this top end rearward toward the slant. Okay, so as I open the knife and that flat part comes around, you can watch it in the cutout there. You can see the knife coming around. You can see there's the flat, that flat part I was telling you about, and there's a spring back here pushing against the ball bearing. So when it comes there, You can see the spring pushed the ball bearing forward. It rode forward onto that flat ramp I showed you, and now the blade can't be closed. And there's no wiggle up and down or side to side. It's just like a fixed blade knife. To close the knife, this plastic, it's a heavy-duty polypropylene encasement, and it is textured for grip. So that's just gripped and pulled rearward, allowing the knife blade to be rotated. Yeah, that's kind of a niche knife. You know, some people think it takes a little getting used to, and maybe that's true. But you know, once you do get used to it, you find that it works in a lot of different situations. You know, I mean, you don't have to be under attack to use this knife. I mean, this is a good all-around knife. But it is certainly designed, you know, with certain features in mind. And with that clip, you know, I mean, if you want to use it in that way, you'll clip it toward the left side of your pocket, open it that way, and there you've got it. It's more easy to get into the grip, into the official, you know, training grip, like that. The reverse grip. Or if you decide you want to just wear it traditionally, you can unscrew the post, and then you can reverse the clip onto the typical side and just wear it in your pocket the way you normally would. And just open it with the thumb hole. Cut whatever you need to. The liners are skeletonized to try to reduce weight. I don't know if you could ever see that or not. Yeah, you can see that in there. There's a couple, you can see a couple of big hole cutouts there. And on both sides, there you can see on that side too. So the liners are skeletonized to reduce weight. It's really, I mean, it's similar to a karambit in many ways, but I think it's got a little bit more broad utility use than what a karambit does. A karambit is really quite limited to defense, but I believe this knife is capable of more broader uses. There you go. That is the Spyderco Pical, developed in collaboration with Shivworks. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you again.